play. Great ball for Smith. Smith's in behind. Hopkins chasing. Shoots and scores! Great ball and again another. Here we go! Lines it up. Lines it into the bottom corner. Really well there. Moffat cuts inside. Moffat! What the right headshot!
Welcome back to FBTV, part of the Football Brisbane Media Group. I'm Robert Blanche and we're here at Luxury Paint Stadium for the third instalment and final instalment for the Veto League trilogy of grand finals this weekend. And we have Wolves versus Rochdale Rovers. I also have Nick Meredith with me as our Football Brisbane analyst. Welcome to the grand final, Nick.
Thanks, Blanche. You're looking forward to this. It's a game... I don't know, I was thinking on the way out here, back to under-10s, which is a long time ago. I can actually remember a few grand finals. So they're the games that I know in Australia, grand finals, what it's all about. And I've got no problem with that. It's a big game and it's who can perform on the day. So I'm sure there's a couple of groups of players here that are very nervous now. And I'd imagine their partners and relatives are just as nervous well. So, yeah, really looking forward to it.
Wolves, Rochdale have been pretty much the sides of the competition this year, and it proved in the final series especially that hard to beat and good under that pressure. How do you see today's game panning out?
Well, I think from everyone tells me walking around that Rochdale are the favourites now. I'm not so sure. I think I lean towards Wolves. I think they may just have a little bit more of a cutting edge. I just got a feeling about that. And they may be a little bit more rested as well. They had a really busy schedule. Now they've had one game in basically a couple of weeks. So I think, talking to Sam Safe, he was pretty happy about that they've had a bit of a rest. I think the loss in goal for Rochdale, maybe the young boys going in is a bit inexperienced. You just don't know what's going to happen on a big day. So I lean towards Wolves, but I've been wrong plenty of times. So don't let any, if you're a Rochdale supporter, don't let that put you off.
I don't think that there's going to be very much between it. I think that it's going to come down to possibly maybe a piece of individual brilliance or maybe a mistake.
Yeah, well, it's one or the other normally, a grand final. I think we might get a few goals. I think both teams will attack. I think Wolves fancy their chance to get a few goals. And we saw Rochdale last week rattle in 5.
Yeah.
And there could have been a few more. So I think, and their momentum's a big thing when you come into finals. And they would come in plenty of confidence. And I would think, probably it's the teams over the last 5 years, it's fair to say, have been the benchmark in the competition. So this could be a climax to all that with things changing next year. So I think it's a fitting grand final.
How do you see the half-time? As I always ask, how do you see the score at half-time in this one?
Yeah, I think Wolves will come out pretty quick. I wouldn't be surprised if they go into the lead at half-time. I think for Rochdale to win, I fancy they'll have to score first. But I think Wolves will attack them from the start, and I wouldn't be surprised if Wolves go in with a half-time buffer.
We're here before the game, and we've got a very special guest here at Luxury Paint Stadium today, Rally Razic, coach of our 1974 World Cup Socceroos. Rally, welcome to the show and welcome to the grand finals.
Thank you so much, great pleasure.
You're here today, and I would suggest on behalf of Lions, you've come to watch the grand final, and I believe you're going to be taking the kick-off in the Veto grand final today.
Could be miss kick. No, I enjoy. Football is a passion. Football is affection. Football is a feeling that no one in the world can explain. It's something so special, irrespective what level of competition it is. It's a great satisfaction because grassroots. This is what football is about, and I think some levels of administration have to pay so much more attention to the grassroots. This is where football is born, this is where it began, and this is where we'll finish, always from the grassroots. The cup finals are most unpredictable competitions. I've been into 5 since Phillips League, and lost some, won some, won ones that we were not favorites, hot favorites, and lost some others that you would not predict. So the cup finals are most unpredictable competitions of any nature, of any kind.
Well, Rally, I'd like to thank you for talking to us and taking the time out to have a chat with us. We are very impressed that you're here, and most of all, we hope you enjoy the game here today at Luxury Paint Stadium.
May better team win.
The officials for today's match are referee Nathan McDonald and his assistant referees Bradley Hobson and David Walsh. Free kick. Swung in from the far side. Punched by Patterson. Back in. Oh, the shot from McMahon has hit the crossbar and landed on the roof of the net. Well judged, the young keeper. Corner swung in again. Oh, it's bobbling around. Ball drops, Clulo shoots. Knowles can't bring it under control. Akubu away. Patterson up the park. Fraser. Aochi. Gets around Thomas. Gets it into the middle. Oh, it's gone between the two Wolves players. Clulo. Back in the middle. Knowles with the touch. Junoski dispossessed. Strong in the tackle, Mundy. Again, floated in. This time, good defensive header. Wolves still in possession. Jeske inside. Knowles dinked into the box and oh! Clulo at the far post. High jump expert. Patterson up the centre. Jeske wins the header. Reardon looks to get it forward early. He's taken a deflection. Dumpies with the touch. Hastings shoots and pulls his shot across the face of goal. Torzok. Surrounded by white shirts. Oh, does well. Gets clipped. Gets a free kick. Gray picks up a card. And as usual, shows his dismay. Akubu forward into the box. Astafas with it down! And Jeske with the clearance in front of his keeper. Torzok up the park. Fantastic ball looking for Fraser, who's got a touch. No, Akubu sticks to his job and puts it out for a corner. Corner swung in from the near side. No! Oh, McMahon puts it wide. Mundy with the header. Gray. Dumpies looking for Astafas. Cut out. Fraser on it. Little bit of space. Cuts it into the middle. Oh, Reardon shot. Clips the outside of the post. He knows how close that was. Corner swung in. Ball short, hasn't held it. Dumpies! And Romano. Good defensive work. Akubu forward. Dangerous ball. Short, comes and collects. Drives it down the park. Mundy wins the header. Straight to Clulo. Oh, clever ball. Junoski scores at the far post to give the Wolves the lead in the 35th minute here at Luxury Paint Stadium. Oh, it was a bit route one to start with, but it was a great ball and a fantastic finish by Junoski. Let's have a look. Clulo, that's a fantastic ball. Junoski knows where he wants to put it, into the side netting. Calm, cool finish. Short. Aochi wins out the header. Clulo for Aochi. Mundy in front of him. Astafas tracking back. He's cut inside, goes down. Claims for a penalty. Play on, says the referee. Romano looks to get round Lovell. Can't. Lays it back. Off Astafas and into the grateful hands of Patterson. Long throw down the line. Great style looking for a quick break. Well broken up in the middle of the park. Free kick. Knowles isn't happy. Dumpy picks himself up a yellow card. Patterson's kick doesn't go far. Aochi shoots, can't get the power, can't get the accuracy. Fraser screaming for it at the far post. Patterson again. Torzok wins the header, but it comes down for Roachdale. Torzok does well, cuts in. And that's the half-time whistle here at Luxury Paint Stadium. And we'll go downstairs for the half-time report.
Nick, 1-0. Could have been all over, to be fair. Wolves have been very dominant in this first half.
Yeah, they have. They did what I thought they would. They came out and they really attached Roachdale. They look a bit heavy in the legs to me. They look a bit tired. And look, the only thing that Roachdale will feel good about at half-time that it's only 1-0 and they're still in the game. It really could have been 3 or 4. Roachdale really haven't. They've had a sort of a half chance, but it's been all Wolves. So this is where coaches earn their money. What can they do at half-time to turn things around? I think Wolves will be very buoyant, and it'll take a big turnaround from Roachdale to get out of this one.
Do you see them coming through the hard way from fourth, and the victory, especially the way they went about their business against Redlands? Do you see maybe Roachdale just finding it a bit hard to get back up? Maybe last week was their final?
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. I think everyone wants to play in a grand final, but, you know, grand finals can go two ways. You can either have a day that you really want to forget or one that, you know, is really memorable for you. And I just think Wolves, their good players are playing well, and that's what you need. Every team's got a couple of standout players, and I think the Wolves' good players are playing well. Up front, they look dangerous every time, and Roachdale, who looked so good at the back last week, look exposed every time Wolves come forward.
Different styles, of course. Redlands don't mind keeping possession and give you a chance to get back into a defensive pattern if they can. Wolves don't let you do that. They just come at you at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You don't touch the ball right, and there's one of them there.
Yeah, they are. They're a well-coached side. They're well-disciplined, and they know their roles. And like you said, if you've got a bad touch or, you know, you're not sure where you are in possession, they're on top of you very quickly. They're working very hard. I think probably as a group, they're working harder than Roachdale. They're probably dominating the play, and Roachdale are reacting to what they do. And to dominate a game, you've got to be more proactive than reactive. And I think Wolves are doing a very good job. But in saying that, it's still only 1-0. So, you know, one bit of luck or something goes your way, you're right back in it.
Do you see it changing much? Of course, I don't see Sam changing too much with the Wolves gameplay at the moment because they seem to be getting everything right. What do you see that Tim Brown has to do or what some of the suggestions you think might be able to help his side in the second half?
Well, I think he's certainly got to get a lot closer in midfield. They're not getting close enough. The Wolves guys are getting time on the ball and getting good runners out wide. They're picking those players out. Certainly Wolves won't change anything. They'll just be more of the same, please. I think Roachdale have got to do a better job defending set pieces. They haven't copped a goal off it yet, but every time they got the young guy in goal, I think Wolves have definitely looked at that and thought that's an area we can exploit. Every time there's a cross come in, I mean, one come off the line from one of their own players, so they think that's obviously a way to goal. So I would more of the same from Wolves. Roachdale, I don't know how many options he's actually got, but I would think he just needs a lift from everyone. You know, it sounds simplistic, but everyone needs to lift if they're to get back into it.
Okay, how do you see the final score? 1-0 for Wolves at the moment. Do you see that continuing and Wolves going on with it?
I think Wolves will go on with it. I don't think 1-0 will be the score. I think, you know, it could easily have been 3 or 4-1 or something like that first half. I think we'll get some more goals, but I'd be very surprised if Wolves don't go on and win it.
Clulo. Fraser down. Janoski forward. Aochi in behind. 1-on-1. Oh, good save, Patterson. Aochi, a chance to put a second one on the board. Knowles quickly. Reardon gets it into the box. Good header away. Thompson with the throw. Lovell back for Thompson. Clips it into the box. Dangerous looking ball. Good header, Jeske. Fraser with the touch back. Oh, here we go. Clulo in open space. Aochi in the middle. Clulo cuts inside Akubo and puts it in the back of the net at the near post to double the Wolves' lead in the 52nd minute. Oh, that was a good lead up. Some fantastic lead up and a great finish in the end. He had two options. He could have scored himself, or Aochi was in the centre. He took the first option, and a double substitution. We don't see these often.
But time for change from Coach Tim Brown on the Rochdale bench. Corner swung in. Again, defensively away. Tabulo cuts outside, tries to shoot. Gray does shoot. Leaning back too far and skies his shot over the bar. Short, takes his time. Plants it up the park. Iochi with the touch. Mundy. Switch of play. Lovell gets around McMahon, who does well not to bring his man down. Oh, drives it across. No one could get a touch. And out for a throw-in on the far side. Mundy. Radulovic pushes him sideways. Clulo wins the throw for Radulovic, who goes down. Hastings already been booked. Could be in trouble here. Clulo drives it in. And McMahon was in there and got the last touch. Hastings dinks it into the box. Everyone challenges. Again, it's away. Lovell just pushes it back in, or tries to. Burley. Iochi comes through. Good challenge. Iochi over the ball. Referee's blown his whistle. Which way's the free kick going? I would suggest Rochdale way. You're not allowed to lie over the ball. Tabulo shoots it straight into the wall. Long throw. Gray away. McMahon headed on. Clulo gets a touch. Iochi looks to go around, goes down, gets up, plays it back in. Well done by Iochi. Clulo out. Back heel, Junoski into the box and misses everybody. Long throw from Thompson. Nodded on. It's come off. Oh dear, it's come off the defender and gone in. It's 2-1. Rochdale don't care how. They're happy. 2-1 in the 72nd minute. An own goal. Kubo. Inside. Dumpies. Good touch. Gray. Way. Hastings out on the far side. Gets it into the box again. A touch off a Wolves player. Gray back in. Dumpies tries to slide in. Lovell and short with a brave, good save down at the feet of Cody Lovell. He forced the corner. Kubu. Lovell looks to go around Romano. Romano does well. Clulo comes away with the ball. Dinks it into space for Iochi. Strong on the ball. Lays it out for Radulovic. Radulovic, what a ball! Junoski gets there! Gets a touch! And, it's cleared off the line by Mundy. It's a penalty! The referee's blown his whistle. It's a yellow card to Mundy. Let's have a look. He's through the middle. Oh, big shirt grab. Okay. Good refereeing. That's a great touch from Junoski to dink it over Patterson. Clulo. Clulo takes it. Patterson goes the right way, but can't get there in time. And Trent Clulo makes it 3-1 for Wolves FC in the 80th minute. Akubu up the line. Looking for Lovell. McMahon away. Way does well to keep it in. Gets it into the box. Short comes. Unopposed. And again, puts it up the park. Mundy under it. Iochi under it. Both of them miss it. Iochi goes down. Slides it wide for Clulo. Clulo puts it across and Iochi can't get a touch at the far post. Switch of play. Way
McMahon gets a toe in. An important toe. Ball scooted out wide from Janoski to Sasha Radulovic. Radulovic here on this near side. Slides it for Aochi. Gets around Burley and puts his shot right of the mark. He's created some chances. He just can't get it in the net. Kubo drops it in for Burley. Surrounded. Loses out. Clulo shoots. Patterson doesn't hold it. Gets it on the second grab just before Janoski clips it into the net. Knowles away. Kearns. Mundy's touch a bit hard. Kearns again for Radulovic. Radulovic! Toe pokes his shot. Under pressure. Out for a goal kick. Dumpies. Trying to get round McMahon. Good defending. Gets it inside. A nice touch from Way. And that's the final whistle, which sees Wolves FC crowned the 2012 Veto League Grand Final winners with a 3-1 victory over Rochdale Rovers here at Luxury Paint Stadium.
Tim, last game for the club, I believe. You've announced your retirement, or at least not being at Rochdale next year. The side did so well through the final series, coming from 4th place. They really did have to go the hard way. And at the end of the day, it looked like that may have taken a bit of a toll. It looked just a little bit underdone at the start of the game.
We were a little bit flat, to be honest. The first half was pretty ordinary, and we had a few players that really were out-hustled. You know, give Wynnum the credit. They out-hustled us, and they certainly wanted to win more than we did. The style of game that they play, the winning second balls, battling for it. And Cato up front gives them a good spearhead. So look, we were beaten by the better team, and on our day we weren't good enough. You could say Redlands last week was our grand final, but who knows? You know, on another day, but they were too good. Oh look, I'm very proud of the players that what they've done this year, and look, since Kieran moved on, we've managed to bring in a few of the younger ones in F. Staffers, Dumfries, Reuben Way that didn't feature a great deal prior to that. And they've done very, very well, and you know, adding a few players here and there as well. But we've had a lot of everyone says they've had a lot of injuries. Losing Unsworth early on certainly helped us. Tabs for half a season, and look, we scored a lot of goals first round, and losing Terry Hughes was we never really recovered, to be honest.
No, that's a fair call. That's something that we've spoken about in various media circles, is that Terry Hughes really don't know what you've got until it's gone. And the side did go through a rough period straight after Terry moved on. But again, to the credit of yourself, the coaching staff and the players, you came back from that and forced yourself, really did force your way into the grand final.
Well, we've had 3 very good results coming through here today. You know, obviously Peninsula, Redlands and Lions, all good sides. And to get to the grand final was, I suppose we can say it was good to get to the grand final, but you know, we turned up here today wanting to win. Yeah. And look, we weren't good enough. Simple as that.
I'd like to thank you on behalf of the entire Football Brisbane community for the effort you've put in. I know the effort you've put in at Rochdale over the years, also at Capalaba. You did reps for many years, I know, because I travelled with you. It comes to an end at Rochdale this year. Do you see yourself popping up somewhere next year?
To be honest, I've had a few offers, and I'll have a talk to a couple of clubs. I am going to talk to another couple of clubs, and we'll see what happens. I'm not saying I'm going to coach. I'm not saying I'm not going to coach. I'll just have a sit down and see if it's worthwhile, and we'll go from there. And you know, I've had 13, 14 years at Rochdale, and they've been fantastic. So I've got no complaints. Everyone's done well for me there, and they're a fantastic club. And hopefully, they'll, with Kieran coaching next year, Kieran's decided he's coming back, they'll push onwards and upwards from there.
Well, I want to wish you all the best in whatever you do next year, and if you're not involved in football, I believe it'll be a loss to our game here in Brisbane.
No worries. Thank you, Blanchy. Thank you, Paulie TV. Fantastic. Thank you.
Sam, for a while there this season, we thought that Wolves were going to be the perennial bridesmaids, but today you came out with a great attitude. The Wolves that we all expect to see play and how they play came out today really hungry and deserved to win the 2012 Veto League Grand Final.
Yeah, we were superb today from start to finish. It's not been through lack of trying. Like I said in the other cup final, we did everything but score. We scored today, and really we could have won by more than 3-1. The first half was just a complete domination. That was probably as good as what we did against Redlands, and it showed. And there's a lot of teams in the league, probably another 13 would like to win a grand final, lose in a final and finish second. So we can't complain, and our reserves won their grand final. So the story at the Wolves is we're getting stronger.
Well, as President of Football Brisbane, Mike Bailey, pointed out, been consistent all year round, and to be fair, today's victory is a culmination of why and how Wolves play football.
Yeah, we try and play at a high tempo, but we also try and play what you might call good, quick passing football. Whether it's over 40 metres or 20 metres, a good pass is a good pass. And if you look at the third goal, Sasha's pass was absolutely, you can't, there's nobody in Football Brisbane can do a pass like that. He's in the middle of three players and dropped it on his chest. Absolute fantastic. Got a penalty out of it, game's won, but I know they got back into it, and yeah, they had a bit of ball and pressed us. But we've come away win. We've had a fantastic season. And a lot of people I'd like to thank on here. Paul Edwards, who's been my side right from day one. We've had Terry Kirkham, who's got a wealth of knowledge, and then all the backup, volunteers and everything. It doesn't just happen here. It's all the people, the behind the scenes. Mike Cowley, the president, everybody works so hard to get this club in 5 years from obscurity and just a nonsense to probably one of the leading clubs in Queensland.
Well, Sam, I'd like to congratulate yourself, your coaching staff, your club, your players, and everyone involved at Wolves FC as the 2012 Veto League Grand Final winners.
Thank you very much, Blanchet, and thank you. You can't see him, but he's behind the camera. A nice-looking man called Paul. Thank you both. You've been fantastic this year, and we are your support, the media coverage and the publicity. And I know, speaking to Nick Meredith, that people at Fox Sports actually watch what you're doing, so it is going around Australia, football in Brisbane. So thank you.
Krasnatska Shield for champions, so plus the plaque for Grand Final winners, Veto League 2012, and a cheque for $3,000. Here's the cheque. Take that, Terry. Congratulations, Wolves FC Grand Final winners 2012.
No surprises there. Could have been more Wolves deserved winners on the day.
Yeah, look, you don't want to put Rochdale down, but to be honest, on chances, if it had finished 7, you really wouldn't have been surprised, and it wouldn't have been. I mean, Wolves had that many chances in the second half to build on their first half, and yeah, thoroughly deserved win. Commiserations to Rochdale, because it was a fair effort to get to the grand final from where they were, and they had a topsy-turvy year. They lost some points and then lost 5 in a row, so well done to them to make it to the grand final. But yeah, no doubt that the best team won on the day.
I believe the two best sides in Brisbane at the moment, even though Redlands, of course, premiers, these sides are habitual finalists. They are always there around or thereabouts, and again, today both sides came out I think Rochdale just that little bit underdone. But at the end of the day, another fantastic football experience here at Luxury Paint Stadium with two good football sides.
Look, I got to say, I wouldn't say I was pleasantly surprised because I expected a high-quality game, and that's what we got. It was a high tempo. Nice, cool evening helped. It was a high-tempo game. You didn't get a lot of time on the ball. We saw Sashi come on and had some real quality at the end, which was perhaps what Wolves needed to kill it off. But there were some good quality players out there, and you see some A-League clubs looking around overseas and that for players. I don't necessarily think that's always the right way. There's one or two players going around in this league that are certainly worthy of a contract. It's just they'll get their opportunity. They've just got to keep knocking away at the door. But there's one or two out there that certainly wouldn't be out of place.
That Sasha Radulovic ball that you were talking that led to the penalty, the best ball of the day. How anyone can bring a ball down with four players around them and then put it onto the penalty spot in between two defenders belies belief. Fantastic ball. As we said, he comes on, he can't play the 90 anymore, but when he does come on, he makes a huge difference.
Yeah, he does. Look, he's a quality above the A-League as well. I mean, Sasha's got a good European pedigree, and that shows, and he's obviously a guy that buys into the club. You could see how enthusiastic he was at the end, and he's happy to play his role. Some guys would come back and say, I want to start and I want to be captain and all that, but, fair play to him. He's come back, his temperament's excellent, and when you need a bit of quality to come on, if I was Rochdale and I'd got back into the game and I saw him come on, I thought, that's just what we need, because when it opens up, he's going to pick you off, and he just showed what a quality player he is.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Nick, for joining us here, over the final series and, of course, grand final day here today. It's been a fantastic experience for myself. It's good to pick the brain of someone who knows football and comes from this region. So I'd like to thank you very much. It's been a pleasure and an honour.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Look, I really enjoyed it. It was certainly an honour. I really enjoyed watching the games. I thought the standard was not surprisingly high, because as I said before, I expected it to be high, but it was excellent. And I think the game, from when I had a last good look at local competition 5 years ago, has come on in leaps and bounds, and it's all positive for the future.
Well, thank you very much, Nick. That's all we have to do is wrap up for this year, except for one very important point. This, from me to Paul, I'd like to thank Paulie for the last 3 years. And I will announce that Paul won't be back with us at this stage next year, but we do wish him all the well for what he's getting up to in the future. And I'm going to miss you, Paulie, to be fair. We've come a long way in 3 years, mate, and you've done a fantastic job of lifting the profile of football in Brisbane. Without you, we'd be nowhere. So I'd like to thank you there and end the 2012 Veto League season on a high with Wolves FC 3, Rochdale Rovers 1 in the grand final.